State governorship election because it does not micromanage government agencies. According to him, it was the prerogative of the Independent National Electoral Commission to deal with infraction by the suspended Adamawa State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Udu Ari. He also said he had not received any petition written to Buhari to sanction the hearing rec, whom he simply described as an INEC employee. It will be recalled that Ari had imprudently announced the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Aisha Binani, as winner of the intense Adamawa governorship race, despite ongoing coalition of results from various local government areas. Consequently, INEC reported the rec to the appointing authority for appropriate sanction. Members-elect of the House of Representatives are launching another alliance soon ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in June. Newsmen gathered that the group of members-elect who are drawn from across party lines will be known as the 10th Assembly Pathfinders. The Pathfinders group will be the third coalition or alliance by members-elect of the 10th House towards the election and selection of leaders for the Legislative Chamber, especially the presiding officer, Speaker, and Deputy Speaker in Abuja. The mission statement of the 10th Assembly Pathfinders is to build a strong, independent, respectable parliament that will work for Nigerians and make Nigeria more stable, peaceful, and prosperous. In the meantime, the federal government has urged persons with disabilities to stand out and ensure that they are counted in the forthcoming 2023 National Population Census. This is contained in a statement by the media aide to the Executive Secretary, Mr. Mbanefu Michaels, and National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. James Lalu, in Abuja. Mr. Lalu gave the charge while speaking at a town hall meeting with stakeholders organized by the National Population Commission to sensitize the public on the 2023 census. According to him, the participation of PWDs in the forthcoming population census will give them a sense of belonging. Mr. Lalu reminded them that their numbers always command political and economic strength, especially as it relates to the equitable distribution of national wealth. The Executive Secretary also urged parents and guardians to encourage their wards to actively participate in the census to ensure visibility and social inclusion in the scheme of things in the country. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has granted approval for the implementation of the Nigeria's Customs Service Modernization Project to a concessionaire despite a warning by two senior advocates of Nigeria that asked the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to obey a court order in respect of a dispute on the multi-million naira e-Customs Modernization Project. The senior lawyers, Ahmed Raji and Dipo Kweshiyi, had in separate letters warned the AGF, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, and Secretary to the Government of the Federation of underhand efforts have been made to obtain FEC's approval and ratification of the award of e-Customs Modernization Project. The Federal High Court in Abuja had last year restrained the federal government from enforcing or giving effect to an agreement on the Customs Modernization Project. As Muslims all over the world prepare for the beginning of the Eid al-Fitr, they have been admonished to be patient as leaders of the faith will communicate to them after sighting the Shawwal crescent. Islamic clerics gave the admonition while speaking with Osbc News on their preparation on looking out for the Shawwal crescent that serves as the end of Ramadan. Uluwa Tobiloba Odnaga has more on the story.
As preparations continue for the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, Muslim leaders are expecting to see the Shawwal crescent either on the 29th or the 30th of the month of Ramadan, which will serve as the beginning of the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. It will be recalled that the Sultan of Sokoto, Sa'ad Abubakar, recently urged Muslims to search for the Shawwal moon from the 29th of the month of Ramadan. According to reports, Shawwal moon is an important celestial event which occurs in the 10th month of the Islamic calendar. Speaking in an interview with Osbc News, a Muslim cleric, Alhaji Sadiq Bello, said citing the Shawwal crescent is important as it is used to determine the beginning of the Eid al-Fitr for Muslims during the holy month.
When we want to start fasting, we have to look for the sighting of the crescent. If it does not appear well for you on that any day, we have to count the former month to make 30 days. Then we can now start. And that's what we are expecting for ending the Ramadan too. That when we want to end Ramadan, we have to look for the moon or crescent of Shawwal.
Alhaji Bello, who enjoined Muslims to be patient, noted that the Sultan of Sokoto, Sahad Abubakar, has already set up a committee that comprises of Islamic leaders across the country, started with the responsibility of sighting the crescent.
We are expecting the information from the committee sighting the moon. These people are picked from each state to form the committee, and they know people to send to when the moon is sighted.
Also speaking on the preparation of Muslim Ummah towards the end of the holy month of Ramadan, Alhaji Muhammadu Kozim enjoined Muslims to engage in Zakatul Fitri, which he said is a form of charitable giving that is mandatory for Muslims during the holy month of Ramadan.
I expected the Muslims to give out charities, so to correct all the shortcomings, all the wrong deeds that you might have perpetrated during the fasting. So
he added that Zakatul Fitri is considered to be a means of purifying oneself, and it is an essential component of the fast-breaking celebration known as Eid al-Fitr. Therefore, it is important for Muslims all over to do a lot of zakat before Eid al-Fitr. Oluwa Tobiloba, Odunuga, Osbc News.
The federal government has declared Friday and Monday as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola made the declaration in a statement signed by the permanent secretary in the ministry, Shuaib Begore. Aregbesola congratulated all Muslims for the successful completion of the holy month of Ramadan. Meanwhile, the Federal Road Safety Corps has mobilized logistic and personnel for the Eid al-Fitr celebration to enhance visibility and guarantee safe travels for all road users before, during, and after the celebration. This was contained in a statement signed by the Corps spokesperson, BC Kazim. The mobilization has been scheduled to commence from April 20th and terminate on 25th of April. The Corps Marshal FRC Dauda Abu mandated reduction in road traffic crashes, road traffic fatalities, and road traffic injuries. In related development, the Commissioner of Police, Osun State, Patrick Lunge, has reassured the people of the state and all travelers of the readiness and preparedness of State Command to guarantee safety of lives and property in all roads and strategic locations during the period and beyond. A statement by Police Public Relations Officer SP or Palola Yemisi assured people of the state that the command will continue to work assiduously to make the state a sanctuary for all people to reside. It's appealed to members of the public to cooperate with the security personnel duties for the assignment to curb any act of crime and criminality. He enjoined members of the public to comport themselves in accordance with the provisions of the law, as police personnel will be deployed for special duties at the mosque, heat praying ground, recreation, shopping centers, and other strategic points to nip in the bud unforeseen criminal activities which may cause any breakdown of law and order. Now to sport, the floodlights inside the dilapidated sporting arena has collapsed following downpour at the National Stadium in Lagos. An eyewitness, Timitope Oluyede, an athlete who was at the stadium for his routine training, told newsmen that they took cover in one of the buildings at the stadium because of the heavy rains and windstorm and heard a loud noise, not knowing that it was the floodlights that had collapsed. He also urged the government to immediately renovate the edifice to avoid a future disaster. And now on the foreign scene, Uganda's Minister of Foreign Affairs General Udongo Abubakar is working to evacuate 275 nationals trapped in the deadly military clashes in Sudan. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in charge of regional cooperation told reporters that the government has contacted the International Organization for Migration to assist in the evacuation of Uganda workers, students, patients, and nationals on the transits in the country. He said there are 120 Ugandans working in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum, 116 students, 14 patients in hospital, 6 citizens on short visits, and 19 Muslim travelers on transit to Mecca, Saudi Arabia for the Ramadan pilgrimage. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has approached the International Organization for Migration and requested support and assistance to evacuate Ugandans who may wish to return home. And that ends the Midday News on Osbc. Join us at 3 for the State News. Good afternoon.